is really hot. I really wanted a snack. Homemade tteokbokki. Oh my god, that's spicy. Okay, welcome back. I know it's been forever, and as you can see, this is a cute, nice new background, and that is because I moved. I have not done one of these since I moved, which is kind of crazy when you think about it like that. But here we go. I feel like I don't do these because I was doing them on my phone. I've just been editing on my phone, and I know that's dumb and stupid, and I should pay money or get some sort of software to do it on my computer, but I also just barely got a computer too, so hell yeah to that. I have been reading like I usually do, and I guess I've just been, I don't know, I haven't found anything good, so I thought, what if I make a video talking about some of the worst books I've read recently? And there's a lot, but this one will be mainly focused on romance, and I have three that I couldn't stop thinking about in a bad way. I will be giving spoilers, sort of, or I will attempt, no, I'm not gonna attempt because that's really hard. I do hope to be a better YouTuber and actually have like the quotes on the screen, but unfortunately I am an audiobook warrior, so that's all I do, and I just listen to everything and then I jot down little notes, but I cannot physically pull out the book because I'm also a Libby user. Yeah, I know. I return everything once I finish with it. And because I do, it is harder for me to kind of keep track of quotes, of reasons why I really hated the book besides like vibes and aura only, but I will do my best later on in the future. Okay, anyway, the first book in this list is The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This book is sold to you as friends to lovers, and as much as I want to believe that, no, it actually is. It is a friends to lovers book. And honestly, I think this book could have been good.
Hell no, man. What?
It could have been great, actually, except I hated the main character. Yeah, I did. This is following two people. I will never, ever, for the life of me, ever remember anybody's name in a romance book for some reason. I'm pretty sure the girl's name is Bree and the guy's name is Nate. Okay, they were besties in high school because they both would go running out on the track to practice. She was like a dancer and he was a football player, so they would meet up together and they would go running, and they built a really great relationship that way, a really good friendship that way, until her untimely accident. She gets injured. She was supposed to go to Juilliard. Her dreams are crushed basically, and she kind of just goes MIA. Nate basically never hears from her again. He goes off to a different college. They don't meet up for a really long time until well into the future. They just kind of start off from where they left off, and they're just friends again. He's really scared to push the button on their friendship because he doesn't want her to run away and never come back again. And she thinks that he doesn't like her at all because what kind of guy, especially a guy like him, not do anything at all with her for all these years? She's like, he obviously doesn't see me that way, you know? That's kind of where they're at. I actually do really fully believe this too, because when you're in like a friendship dynamic, if it's a really good friendship, like you're like, I really, really enjoy this person, and you have no clue at all if the person that you likes you back, and you guys have just like really good chemistry, why would you want to ruin that? Why? I don't know if I would be brave enough to do it, because honestly, they've been friends forever at this point, and neither one of them have done anything physical, so they're like, just follow each other through this weird dynamic that they have, until the untimely event where Bree and Nate are hanging out all the time, and he always has a girlfriend for some reason, but it never lasts. And she famously somewhere in this book quotes like, I'm no threat to these girls until they make him decide between me and them. And that's when I am like a glitter bomb. I think she literally says something like that. I don't know, if my guy best friend who always has a girlfriend and those girlfriends never last, and if they were to force him to choose between me and that girl and he chose me, I would start, you know, but that's just me, whatever. And hangs out with Nate and his football friends, right? See, the other reason why I hated this book so much, so much, is because Bree is super unlikable to me. I find her to be the most pick-me girl I've ever met in my life, but that's just me, whatever. She's also really quirky, derogatory, in a way that just like makes you want to bash your head into a wall, because I'm pretty sure they're well into their mid-20s or late 20s. She's super unlikable, but she goes and hangs out with his guy friends for the night, and she literally somewhere along the lines of saying like, these guys love me because I'm just the shortest, cutest little girl ever, and like I pose no threat to them at all, and they would carry me on their shoulders like a queen. That's how much they love me. Which I kind of find a little full of herself, but who am I guess, you know? She gets super wasted while she's hanging out with Nate, and Nate is also like a super famous football player, by the way. So she doesn't make it off to Juilliard, but he makes it to be like a super famous football player who has like tons of money and is like, let me help you because you're literally broke and all that stuff. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, he's famous, all right? She gets super wasted. And there is a lady who she's in the bathroom with, because now at this point that she's super drunk, everyone's like, where is Bree? I don't know. And he's like, I'm gonna go look for her. She's probably in the bathroom. He goes, he finds her in the bathroom. Some chick is there, right? She's looking evil. I don't know, okay? She's looking evil-ish. He's like, can you give us some space? They have this moment together, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Okay. That girl, as he was leaving, she had like her phone out and was recording stuff. Uh-oh. Remember, he's famous. That's not good. They wobble out. Next day comes. That thing is blasted on the press. Okay. It's like her in a video, and in the video, Bree, she's like talking about how like she's the only girl for Nate, and all those other girls that want him like need to get out of her way, and it goes very, very viral. In the comments, everyone's like, I love her. Oh my god, like she's so cute. I want her to be with him so bad. The way I read this scene in the book was like very obnoxious. Like if I saw this on social media, I would think myself and other people would be like, wow, you're super obnoxious. And like, what do you mean? Like all the other girls, like, are you somebody? Like, who are you? Who are you? Why are you trying to ruin my chances with Nate? If I was trying to get at him, you know, but I thought the video was giving like childish. She just gives me childish. I don't know. Like, so now they have to go into this fake dating contract thing for like a month because it's reached social media. It's gone viral. People are like, I want to see them together. I want to see her in a commercial with him. All this stuff. Okay. See where that's going. Okay. Again, the reason why I really didn't like this book was mainly because of the female main character. Bree comes off like Disney Channel character, super duper immature for her age. Like me, Jess from New Girls, okay? Like she refers to her her ovaries as hussies because she's very attracted and turned on by Nate, okay? She refers to doing the deed as hanky-panky. I know I did that, but this is like censorship because this is on, you know, this is completely different, okay? She also refers to herself as like Brie Cheese. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's giving like, I really want to be different. I want to be so different. I think the author does this thing too where she's really, really trying to tell you, she really wants you to know that Brie is a good person. Like that's all we ever hear. Brie's such a nice, good person. And then we like are giving these very stereotypical, like she's such a like a giver, really honestly. She has her own ballet school and she isn't charging the kids that she's teaching for ballet, so she must be a saint. That's the vibes we're getting from here. I hate Brie the entire time. And I think I would have enjoyed this Friends to Lovers more if she wasn't so childish to me. Don't like characters like these. This is actually why I can never watch a Christina Lauren, or not watch, read or listen to a Christina Lauren book, because I find a lot of her characters are just like this, like just absolutely, I don't know, juvenile, like, somebody give me the word for this. Oh my god, they're so back. And as you can tell, it is much shittier lighting because it is now further along in the day, and I've just told myself I actually have to finish this, because if I don't, I'll just never do it. Yeah, it's back to our second book that we were talking about, Caught Up by Liz Tomford. Actually, wait here, hold on.
12 seconds later.
I do physically have the book here with me because my amazing sister-in-law lent it to me. I did read one other of this series. I couldn't even tell you the name of it, except it was about the basketball player and his love interest. Don't ask me about a name. Don't ask me about a name. I just know the story, all right? Caught Up is, again, another one of the series that is as a part of the Mile High series. I believe that's what it's called. They're all set in Chicago, and they're all sport-related romance novels. It's always a dude who's in the sports, and the girl's doing something else, but she's involved somehow adjacently to the guy. The book is basically following Kai, who is a baseball player, and Miller, who is a well-renowned pastry chef, and she is basically burnt out. She's super burnt out that she can't even make simple dishes anymore. And she's getting kind of nervous because she has to come up with 2 dessert items to show to this magazine that she has an interview with in a few months, and she's getting kind of freaked out. So she decides to go to where her dad is, which is, I believe, in Chicago. Yeah, it is in Chicago, because obviously that's where he is, because that's where this is all set in. He's in Chicago. She's like, I'm gonna go see Papa, and we're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna spend time with him. I'm just gonna call it quits, take a little vacay, and we're gonna go hang out with him. Her dad is the coach of this baseball team, and her dad is having a problem because one of his players, Kai, needs a babysitter. Kai is a newly single dad. He was having very casual relations with a woman, and she came out of nowhere, dropped off this kid, and was like, I didn't want to seem like I was a gold digger and use you for like child support, so you can actually just take care of this child, and I really don't care anymore. So he is bombarded with that, and he's decided to take his job as dad seriously, which I would genuinely hope you would if you found out you had a kid. So kudos to Kai for taking on that role. Kai has a lot of kind of trauma with that because he is the oldest brother of the 2, and after his mom died and his dad abandoned him and his brother, he was mainly the one taking care of him and his brother, so he felt like he had to kind of grow up really fast. And now he's having like daddy issues moment where he's like, I don't want to miss any part of my child's life. I want to be the best dad that there is, and I don't want to mess this up. Okay. That's his bit of trauma. Miller's trauma is that she is actually not her dad's biological child. She is adopted. Her dad, who's her adoptive father, was actually dating her mom. Her mom got sick and she passed away, and her mom's final wishes were like, can you please take care of my daughter, please? So her adopted dad was like, yes, of course I will do that. So he was actually in the big leagues as well, and he left his career to take care of her. She has this really big guilt around that because she feels like it was her fault that he didn't go far in life, and he like left everything on the table to like take care of her. So now she feels like she has to become something of herself so that he didn't just waste it all for her to not do anything with her life. That's basically these 2 people's trauma. And with her trauma of that is she never stays anywhere. She's very like, I'm a wild free spirit, and like, you're never gonna catch me because like I'm so untethered. But really she's untethered because she feels as if she stays somewhere, her father will also stay, and he will not pursue his dreams to do what he needs to do and whatever he wants to do with his life. So she just kind of left and started this career where she's in a van and living out her life, doing this freelancing kind of gig, and she's never made any real roots. Now, why didn't I like this book? Why didn't I like this book? Okay. There's so many reasons why I actually didn't like this book. I didn't think that Kai and Miller had any chemistry, if I'm being quite frank. I think that we are just told there's 2 hot people, and because there's 2 hot people, they should just like each other. I'm not a big fan of that also too. I don't think there's really any substance to Kai besides the fact that he's tall, has dark hair and blue eyes. That's kind of it. That's all I'm getting from him is like that, and then that he's a dad. I don't know. I wasn't really getting that much of him. I also didn't love Miller's like her immediately hitting on him already. She used a lot of like baseball dad, a smut and all that good jazz. But it wasn't working for me with her being so like forward, them both being super forward. Kai also basically sexualizes her the whole book. Like every time he's talking about her, he talks about her in regards to her physical looks and what that does for him physically. Like he's just constantly turned on by her and her amazing thighs. That was something that was probably said in this book 10 times, is her thighs. Her thighs are it, bro. I don't know if it's because, again, with romances, a romance like this, I know that it's mainly just supposed to be smut, okay? There's probably 3 smeck scenes in here, but it doesn't do much for me because I don't feel like they have any chemistry emotionally. So when they're doing it, I'm kind of clocked out, honestly. Also, regarding the doing the deed scenes, they're not good. They're not good at all, honestly. The second smeck scene in here is in a pool, a public pool. I don't mean to yuck your yum if that's what you like, okay? If that's what you like, but immediately where my mind went was like, in a pool? Like with chlorine? And where some people kind of like pee pee and poo poo in there? And a lot of people like, you can explain to me the cleanliness of it, but I wasn't vibing with that because I immediately thought of that. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'd want to put my mouth down there after you just got out of the pool, inside of your pool clothes or whatever. Even if you weren't, I don't know, a pool. Sorry. That one definitely did not make me excited as well. I also think that both of them, it's mainly honestly her problems, her like, I don't want to be tethered down because my dad, and like I have so much guilt behind this stuff, really bothers me because that's the theme for the whole book. Even though we find out towards the end of the book that her dad has told her many a times that he loves her. She is a very, very loved daughter. He absolutely adores her and that he misses her a lot, and that he has never once thought of it as him giving away his career or anything. He didn't think of it at all like that. And also for this book, I don't know if you see how large that is. It's almost 400 pages. For a contemporary romance book, it is almost 400. It's 398 pages, I believe, okay? There's almost nothing going on in this book. It took me 4 months to read this book because there's nothing going on in here. There's nothing exciting. Even when you think something exciting is gonna happen, there's nothing exciting. Even like the villains of this show, of this rodeo, nothing happens in here at all. I couldn't tell you one significant scene in here that probably made or break the book. Yeah. Also, more spoilers. She ends up leaving for her freelancing gig out in LA. And they're very both sad by this, even though at this point they've already been kind of together, like for the last 2 weeks, and they've been enjoying each other's companies and doing other things that you do when you enjoy someone's company. And basically the day she leaves, they just stop talking. They like do not talk any longer. And there's actually no rhyme or reason behind it. It's not like they got into like a huge fight. It's not like anything big happened. They both terribly miss each other and just stop talking to each other. What was the reason? She ends up returning to Chicago because she realizes that her dream of being a freelance big pastry chef is not her dream anymore, because while she was in Chicago, she was taking care of Kai's kid, and she realized how much she loved that child, like her own child, and that her new dream was to be with Kai and his kid, Max. So So she comes back and they're basically together. Epilogue happens 6 months later. She, mind you, okay, the timeline of this is actually what throws me off. What just, you know, grinds my gears is the whole time that she's watching Max, Kai's son, is roughly 2 months. 2 months of them knowing each other, and maybe like the first 3 days he hates her, and that's it. That's it. He like doesn't like her. Then they're kind of like flirting with each other, but he immediately is just flirting with her in a very like physical way. That's all he sees her at. And no one else can convince me that he likes her more than physically. Like, I mean, he might bring up the fact that like, yeah, you're just like a super good pastry chef and like you love my son. That's kind of it. You love my son and you're making me have fun and you're super hot. That's the vibes that I'm getting from Kai. 2 months have passed, and then in the ending 2 weeks of them, so it's like the first week, okay, 2 weeks they're actually together, so that's 3 weeks, so that leaves a month and one week of them sort of knowing each other. He takes her on possibly 2 dates. One of them, both of the time, she doesn't actually even consider it a date. She's like, that's really serious. I'm not a serious girl, okay? It can't be anything like that. Okay, so we have the timeline for that. She comes back. She basically tells him, hey, I'm homeless and also I'm jobless. So hope you still want to be with me. He's like, of course I do. She moves in with him. They've only known each other 2 months. 2 months, okay? She moves in with him. She has no job. She's now living with him. 6 months pass. They are now engaged. Mind you, also, she's never had a friend. She's never actually dated someone before this. That's it. That's all they have. That's all they have going on in this moment. I really didn't like this book. I also didn't like Miller. Like, the author really wanted to give us like tomboy. Like, she's wearing overalls and she's super tatted and she's got a septum piercing. It's 9 a.m. She's cracking 2 Coronas. And also she doesn't like to be called cute. Don't call me cute. I'm not cute. Don't use that word with me. I'm rock hard, bitch. That's basically what I was getting from her as well. So we can officially say that that was also one of the worst romance reads I've read within the last 3 months. Last, thank goodness, because I'm honestly tired. I'm tired of doing this. I can see why I stopped doing these. I'm gonna try and edit these as best as I can. Add fun stuff in there. The last book in here is He Knows When You're Awake. I don't even remember the author's name, but I'm gonna put a picture somewhere around here. It's supposed to be a part of like these stalker romance series that is going on. This one is a little, I don't even, okay. We're following main guy character. Main guy character is always some rich dude, okay? Main girl character. Main girl character is jewelry designer, but make it BDSM and edgy, okay? But unfortunately, girl character, she actually works for dainty, girly jewelry company, and she doesn't want to do that anymore because she wants to be edgy, hardcore jewelry maker, okay? She gets laid off. Boom, okay? Rich guy finds her. He says, I've been stalking you for the past X amount of months or something. She goes, oh my God, really? Completely after that, that's it. She does not have like a visceral reaction to him saying this to her at all. Okay, he's like, I want you to work on these designs that I'm thinking of for this thing that we have. Honestly, the book is like, if AI slop were to have created something, that is what a book would have been. Like, you ever watch TikTok, right? You watch TikTok and you're scrolling through stuff. All of a sudden you get one of those ads for like an AI short film, shorts or whatever. And it's so bad, but you kind of just keep sticking around for a second. You're not liking anything. You just sit there and you go, okay, where's this going? This is like that, but if the story was boring. Yeah, There's actually no substance and or plot to this at all. There's like evil, super evil villain that comes in the end who's like trying to steal the designs. And again, reminder, this book is about like girl who's super edgy and makes like BDSM adjacent jewelry. And she's like, I'm so hardcore and I'm really tough and strong, and I love like, what is that thing called? That thing called that knights wear, and it has like chainmail. She's like, I like chainmail. She makes a jewelry design that's supposed to be something similar to like a choker or whatever. And I think along the lines in there, she says something like, because like it makes you feel safe to like be taken in that way. I don't know. It's supposed to be like this really edgelord line, you know? And I just cannot take it seriously because super funny. There is, you know, hanky-panky scenes in here, as Brie Cheese would like to call it back from the cheat sheet. There is hanky-panky scenes in here. And because you would think of the themes in this book that it would be crazy hanky-panky time, okay? Like stuff you wouldn't see coming. It is probably the most vanilla scenes I've ever read in a book. I think if it was streaming on the televisions, people would let it slide. Yeah, because not much was happening in there. I honestly couldn't even tell you what happened. It was literally so bad, this book. This book was so sloppily put together. It didn't even, like, it didn't even make sense. By 80% of the book, he, like, reminds her that he was stalking her, and then she's, like, shocked. He just told you he was stalking you this whole time. Did you forget what happened? Like 60% ago? Like she's literally upset. She's like, I can't believe you've been doing this. Were you there or not? I don't know. I don't recommend this book. I actually couldn't, like, I don't read a lot of dark romance, so maybe I'm being biased, but I will say that I did read this for book club, and the consensus of it was everyone did not enjoy it, and it was painful to get through, so I would not recommend. Anyways, that is my wrap for three bad romances that I've read, and I really hope to read more. I do actually, I know it sounds bad, but I do enjoy semi-hate reading stuff, because someone said that it's like a type 2 kind of fun where during it it's painful. Afterwards, it's something super good to talk about because you could be like, that was super terrible, and it's comical almost how this was. Also, disclaimer at the end. I guess disclaimer should come in the beginning. If you liked any of these books, that's fine. People are allowed to like whatever they like, okay? I like orange and you might like blue, and that's all right at the end of the day. We're not hurting anybody. These are just how I felt, okay? I think we can still be maybe friends, you know? Maybe I won't like what you like.